Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Friday afternoon Coach's Corner. For most of you who've been with me from the very beginning, you know that every Friday we gather together like sort of our little huddle for some motivational, educational, and inspirational learning techniques and topics to help you become more equipped, more successful, and better able to handle this thing we call life. So grab your peanut butter and jelly, your favorite beverage, your favorite lunchtime snack. And here we go. Today I have with me a wonderful lady. You're going to love her. Miss Munira, how are you?
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Teresa, for having me. I am well, honored and humbled to be on Coach's Corner.
Well, you and I have so much to talk about, and so I'm going to jump right in. Folks who are with us today, Munira is an author. She actually wrote the book, The Philosophy of Niche or Niche Principles, and the owner of the Niche Navigator Company organization. So, Munira, tell us, how did you come up with the title for your book?
I wanted to tell everybody how you find your niche. And I thought, me just, writing notes everywhere I went, just finding things to write on. And I just wrote stuff down. And then I thought this could become a book. And I did. This is my philosophy of how to find your niche. And that became the philosophy of Niche Principles by just putting notes down together. Everybody has this habit of journaling or writing notes or putting things down. And when you get an idea, that's the best way to do it, because 10 minutes later, you may forget. So when I got those ideas, I started writing them down and it became a book.
So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure that we are live, because every once in a while I have a technical difficulty and it doesn't go, but we are live. So, all right, Munira, you are in Chicagoland. Tell us a little bit about what Chicago is facing right now with the pandemic. How's it going there?
It's the same as where you are. It's high in numbers. People are dying. We have to wear a mask. That's why Zoom meetings are more important these days. But people are cold, and it's very cold. So people like to be indoors. Everybody, I believe, has stocked up on groceries. And what they are doing is just keeping themselves warm and keeping themselves safe, because everywhere you go, you wear a mask. And just follow the rules that the governor has set up for you.
So tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got from here to there to here.
Wow. Well, from here, so I've been in corporate world for 25 years, worked in the pharma world, and, I had the best job where I would go in and create cost savings programs for pharmacies in hospital. One of the departments in a hospital is pharmacy, that literally drains the budget of the hospital because medicines are so expensive. So our job as a third-party vendor was to go in and save additional dollars and cents for pharmacies who were buying drugs at a very high cost price. And I was all over the place. I worked with Johns Hopkins and HSHS and Miami Baptist and all of the main hospitals in the East and Midwest. Also in LA, that's where my journey started. And, I was doing so well, traveling so much. We're living out of a suitcase. Most people don't like that, but it's exciting. Now it's not because of COVID. But, that position was eliminated. And then I found myself jumping from job to job, doing consulting work in the same realm of things. And I've always had teams of people. In the 25 years I was part of a team, and then I became a team leader. I was always mentoring people, and what I realized is that I have a knack. I need to be paid for what I'm doing, right? so I started looking into things, and I found this one person who was like, so you want to be a coach? And I was like, okay, what's that? So looking into things, I got certified with John Maxwell and some other coaches. And I realized that this is what I like. I like people. I've always loved people. And I've always pushed people to go find their goals. And, that was one thing that I wanted to do. What brought me as a niche navigator, what happened was I was a part of a mastermind. We were working with Think and Grow Rich. And it was a free mastermind. Then we got into a paid one, and then into another paid one with more eloquency and more masterminding capabilities, just a high end. And then our coach said, come to New York, let's do this, because Carnegie Hall is there. And 28 of us congregated in 2017 and got there. And we started we were put on a hot seat, because we then had to figure out what our thought process was and how we were going to get rich, right? So we started thinking about that. And that's when I realized, that people talk a big game, but they're not there. They don't know what they want. They have a very outlined plan, but they don't have a detailed plan. And outlines don't work because you need details, right? You can draw an outline of a person, but if you don't have the eye color and the eye shape and the eyebrows and where on the face the eyes will go, just take one thing, that's details. And if you don't have that, then you're lost. And then what I did was, that summit inspired me to start my own show, Munira's Musings. And I started asking these 28 people to come to my show, and just asking them questions. And what happened was amazing, because after the show and after it had aired, what happened was I realized, after having a side conversation, that these people are still looking for their niche. And I started helping them, because I could see their potential, like I did with my other team members. When I was working, I could see the potential, but they didn't see it themselves. And they were not happy. They were struggling. They were frustrated. And when I showed what they could do, it was amazing. And that's when I realized that I helped find their niche, and I could help them navigate to it. So I have that gift, and I use it very, very often, because I help people find their niche.
That you raise a good point, because you talked about a mastermind, and for people who may not know what a mastermind is, that is simply a group of like-minded people who gather together, maybe weekly, for 8 or 9 or 10 rounds of conversation with each other, and we can either pick a topic or a book, but what the bottom line is being with like-minded people and facilitated by people who are where you want to be. I've joined many masterminds. I wanted to join the masterminds, paid masterminds, because you have to invest your finances if you want to be good and you want to be better. If you want to be the best, you have to invest with people who are already where you want to be. So a mastermind is an opportunity to do that and learn from people who are already successful in the area that you want to be successful. So I love how you said that. Because
that's the thing, right? Most people don't invest in themselves.
Yeah. So tell me why. That was going to be my question. Tell us why it's important. People might think, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources. Well, if you're going to commit to your success temporary and 50%, you're only going to get temporary success and 50%. So tell us why it's important, Manira, to invest in mentoring, coaching, masterminds.
You can't give what you don't have. That's what John Maxwell says, right? And I find it so true because right now, everybody is in a pandemic. The whole world is right here in a pandemic, and everybody has had to change, has to pivot, has to do something to do differently. Yeah. I have a friend who was a party planner, but she lost her business outright, just completely outright. So what she had to do was sit down and we brainstormed, and she's good at making balloon bouquets. So what she did was she partnered with a cake maker, and everybody likes cakes, and every day somebody has a birthday. So that's what she advertised in the Chicagoland area. And so what she does is now she has a cake, a nice small cake, and she has only three different cakes. I think one is a strawberry filling cake, one is a chocolate mousse cake or something, and then one is just a plain white with the frosting on it. And then she has these balloon bouquets that she's so good at making, and she's now sending these or delivering to people on their doorstep and leaving it on their doorstep for people. And so it's an amazing way to pivot. But if you don't mastermind with people, you don't get these ideas. So masterminding is a way to get together, like you said, with like-minded people who can help you boost up. Because there's sometimes you're sitting on an idea and you don't know how to plan it or how to implement it or execute this idea. So if you do that with people, they give you ideas. And people are natural born advice givers. You tell somebody you have a TV problem, they'll give you three people they know who can fix a TV. Tell them that don't know how to use Canva or something, a tool on your computer. They'll figure out a way to advise you through it. So people are natural born advisors. Why don't you take that advice for free? Sometimes you can get a mastermind that is free. Sometimes you have to pay for it. But that small limited payment can be, it's a one-time payment, but you could just take your business to the next level. So it's very important to have a coach, a mastermind, a mentor in your life that's going to take you to the next step.
Yeah, and that is, that is a great point, because one of the things that I like to say, because I'm in the field of mental health and behavioral health and mental well-being, and the most important component to success is your mindset. And to me, what I tell people is mastermind is learning to master your mind. And that's the beginning of a success journey. Because if you can't master your mind with a good attitude, you have to believe in your success. You can be and do and have everything you were created for. So I love masterminds because I like to be able to help people master their mind so that they can be successful in any area that they choose. I don't know how to fix a TV. I'm not really good on the computer, but I am well able to help people get out of a negative mindset and put them on the path and the road to recovery to become all they can do, be, and have. And so I want to talk about niche. What does niche mean?
Niche means, what's your purpose?
Okay.
Purpose, right? It's a very elaborate word for a very simple thing, but it's just a good way of figuring out. So there's two ways you can figure out a niche. One is what your purpose is, and what the other way people look at it is market too. Who is your ideal client? Who is your niche client? So you can look at it on what you can do for your ideal client. And who is your ideal client? By figuring out what you have and what you can give people with the tools that you have.
And Munira, what would you say to someone who says, I don't know what my target audience is. I'm just throwing things up against the wall and see what sticks. What would you tell them to do?
So how are you doing that, right? How are you throwing things against the wall? That's the one thing. It's like, are you just willy-nilly? You know, in the beginning, it's okay because you are still trying to figure it out. You can just throw it up on the roof and see what comes down. But you can't keep doing that because that's going to be a problem. What you have to do is figure out, say you post something and you have 3,000 friends on Facebook. Very, very simple example. And a tip that you should take, and see how many people resonate with those. Then those people who answer just not just one answer, like they give you a sentence, go look at these people's profile, then put another post and see if there is something that these people can resonate with. If it's the same audience, go look at them, ask them questions. What did you like about my post? And have a conversation. This will give you an idea of what your ideal niche is. And say, you know what, whatever I'm doing, do you know people who can what's the word? Who can benefit from what I'm doing? And you know what? If they like what you're doing, they'll find 3 friends to bring you in. So then now you're figuring out your ideal niche. And remember, we are at an age where we are not 16-year-olds that we friend everybody else. We are picky and we are going to choose people. So if you friended 3,000 people and you get no engagement, it's time to lose some of them. You know, I've done a lot of marketing. I follow a lot of marketing gurus, and that's how they do it. You know, they friend everybody that asks for friendship, but if they're not active within 6 months, those people are gone. They have to renew the market. So you want to find those people who are going to resonate with your word.
I love that. So for those of you who are watching, go into your Facebook and do what Munira is suggesting. Go in and clear it out of people who are not engaging because they're taking up space for someone else.
So, and there's people out there who want to listen to it. Remember, remember now it's very easy. You just go to a website or you just click on your radios and you get to the station. But before, we used to have those dial up and we had to fine tune ourselves to get to the right frequency to hear the right. You remember those radios?
Yeah, I do remember.
I love those, I love that analogy. Only the young folk of today don't realize that it's such a wonderful analogy. Partly because you have to be on the right wavelength to hear what people are listening to. And what people, some things that people just don't resonate. And then the other thing, that's my first chapter, is network, right? You find your niche client and your niche when you are in a networking situation and when you are listening to people, trying to figure out what exactly am I doing here. Networking events usually are, I'm just going to go give you my card and then I'll follow up with you. Not anymore. What you want to do is you want to go there solid, figure out how many 5 people or 6 people that you want to meet, solid connections. And when you are having that eye-to-eye conversation with somebody, that's when, you open up a group of people and those people will come to your group and just listen to what you have to say. And if you can solve one person's problem because you're in that frequency and they have a problem and you can solve it, one, you found your niche and you found your niche client, because then you have the tools to help them with that problem.
Oh, I love that. Now, Munira, talk to us about people who aren't really sure. Like, say, for instance, you were in the corporate world in pharmaceuticals. when you pivoted, did you reach out to all pharmaceutical people? Was that your audience?
No. When I pivot, I didn't even know what my audience was. And that's the truth, because like everybody else, I was still looking for my niche. But I joined this mastermind group. And what like I said, I realized that none of them knew what they were talking about. They were all talking a good game. But deep inside, it was a facade, and they knew it. But when you make that connection and then have a one-on-one conversation with this person, you realize how much they tell you. Like, I'll tell you an example. This one lady was renovating her grandmother's house in Italy. It was a house that slept 12 people. And I was asking her, so what are you going to do with a house in Italy? And she goes, I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't yet figured it out. Italy, a few miles away from Rome, right? This is prime real estate. Who doesn't want to go to Italy, right? That's one thing. She hasn't thought about it because she came from there. She knows the language. She knows the places. She grew up there, language, food, everything. But what she told me was like, I'm looking for, we were in a mastermind group, and she goes, I want to go, and I just got laid off from my job, but now I want to take my coaching to the next business. What I want to do is take this and go to my former boss and see if I can do masterminds for them. Awesome idea. But they weren't giving her a time of day for that. Okay, cool. So I said, wait a minute, you have your grandmother's house in Italy that you are renovating and it sleeps 12 people? And she goes, yeah, I can put 15 in there. Why do you want to go to your old boss's home to figure, to his business and help people that don't want to grow when there's people who want to go to Italy? This conversation happened in 2018, right? Very, very new in 2018. I said, if you have a mastermind group of people, young folks, couples, young ladies, students, I don't care, just all these people who want to go to Italy, and did a trip, maybe a wine tasting trip, or maybe just go see the ruins or whatever, and then showed them the power of a mastermind, and get together and find a conference room and around a round table during lunch, and to talk to them about a book that you are going to do, say Think and Grow Rich, and talk to them about that. Those people, because of the experience they have with you, are going to be repeat customers. She didn't realize it there, but then all of a sudden it hit her. And she took this to the next level, because in 2018, towards the later part, she took 4 trips of ladies, single ladies. In 2019, she did 19 trips. And she was the guide. She had her aunt there who could cook, who had, she had somebody who could bring the van over, and she didn't take more than 10 people or 12, right? Because she had a bus or whatever. She took them on a wild wine excursion, and I said, you have the whole country at your fingertips. Go enjoy this. Her business took a hit because of COVID, and Italy was one of those countries that was hit badly. But, now she's giving them tours online, show them Italy the way it's supposed to be. And then, she's doing different things, but that idea materialized because I saw potential.
Yes.
So sometimes you never know what you have until somebody else points it out to you.
That's so true. And that is how I have been able to navigate, because when you are on a journey, it's your journey, it's my journey, it's each individual journey. But sometimes I found myself off in the weeds because I got so jammed up and wadded up inside with anxiety. And I ended up sort of in the weeds because I took my eyes off the focus of what is ahead. And one of the things that was helpful to me is finding a coach and a mentor and an advisor. So I can't stress enough, because like you just said, as coaches, what we do We bring out people's potential. We find it. We access that inner being of each person, and we help to determine and move them forward. Now, let me ask you another question. I could talk forever with you. A lot of times when people come for coaching, they want us to tell them what to do. What would you tell someone that says, just tell me what to do and I'll do it? What would you say to that?
I don't know what potential you have until you tell me. So, very first, when I started coaching with my mentor, what he said was, I want you to go and write down skills that you have, right? Take a piece of paper, put it on your bedroom wall, just write down everything that you know. It's a pretty easy task. Oh, I know how to do this, this, and this. And he goes, start with your bathroom. I was like, what? He goes, let me give you an example. If you know how to brush your teeth, put it down. If you know how to brush somebody else's teeth, put it down. It's a skill, right? I'm not saying what you don't want to do. I'm saying what you know how to do. Now, we've had kids, so we've brushed their teeth, right? I was a caretaker, so I brushed my husband's teeth. And I was like, okay, I can do this. It took me 3 months to fill 17 pieces of paper. Now, we start with the bathroom. You know how to clean it? You know how to organize it? It just doesn't stop there. Do you know how to make the mirror unfogged and then clean it after a shower, or you have no streak marks? All of those things are a skill that you know how to do. How you do it is your business, but you know how to do it. Sit at a computer, open up your computer is a skill. Switching it on is a skill. Going into your email is a skill. Answering an email is a skill. Formulating the message is a skill. All of these are skills. We don't take these, we usually take these with a grain of salt, and we just don't give it more importance. But we don't take these with importance. These are all things. Some people can sit at an email and write an email without any spelling mistakes. But there are some who will figure out that theirs are too different, the twos are different, offs are different, all of these things, and do you use a spell check? That's also a tool that you can use, but it's a skill if you know how to use a tool. All of these things are skills that you have. I don't know what you have, but if you put it down, and what I did was I took everything from a piece of paper and put it on an Excel sheet. I had 17 pages, and I still add to it. But I keep adding to it because I know what my worth is. You have to find out what you are good at after you figure out what you know how to do. You may know how to cook, but that's not something you would like to do every day, but you know how to do it. Peel an onion. Like he said, don't overthink it. But if you can find if you go to grocery shop and you find the correct onion, bring it home, peel it, cut it, chop it, slice it, dice it, whatever you do with an onion. If you know how to do all these things with an onion, that's a skill you have. And it's not just one skill. It's a skill divided into many skills.
You know what?
Figure it out.
That's a great point, because even myself on my journey, I was trying
I lost you. I can't hear you.
There we go.
Okay, there you are.
So one of the things that I learned, and I want to share with all of the viewers, is that if, like Munir is saying, if you're good at something, if people are already paying you for something that you love to do, then you have found your niche. And I've seen so many people with the pandemic, they want to give up. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. But because we have a pandemic, people's businesses are suffering. But stay in the game, because if people like, if you're a hairdresser and people are paying you for beautiful hair, don't give up because it's going to come back again.
True, but if you're a hairdresser and your business is suffering, then what you do is you teach them how to make it softer, and have those people, your clients, come into a Zoom room and talk to them about what they are doing. Yeah,
That's a
you can't
great
have
idea.
yeah you can't have people in your this thing, and that's a government mandate, so you have to follow what the government says. But if you have to really figure it out, then teach them stuff, right? They can do things themselves, but remember, if you give them value, they'll keep coming back to you.
Exactly. And that's what we do as coaches, as mentors, as advisors. We offer people value. Hopefully, we add value to your lives. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I know that we are just about out of time. Munir, I hope that you will come back again.
Yes, I would love to.
And we'll do a part 2 because, folks, if you want to have a mastermind, just the case in point that Munira just said, even if you're not doing business, have a mastermind, a Zoom room, have a group of like-minded people and get on this call and get on the Zoom and talk about ways to soften up what you're doing, talk about ways to pivot until we are fully back in swing, talk with like-minded people in your profession on how to better serve your clients and how to get through this next couple of months. So, Munira, one final question. You've suffered a lot. You've had quite a journey. You've been through very traumatic situations, and you've had adversity, which we didn't get into today. Tell the viewers as we close, what have you learned through your journey in suffering and adversity, even way before COVID? Tell us what did you learn?
She's talking, I know, Teresa, you're alluding to the fact that I lost my husband before COVID even was around. This happened very early last year. So thank you so much. Um, I see my grandson, who is 8 months old, starting to walk, and he keeps falling, and he cries sometimes when the fall is harder. And he looks at his mother with his tears in his eyes, and he just, his mom just encourages him, get up, let's go, you can do this again. And he gets up and he goes. It's been 3 weeks and he's still at it. He hasn't yet figured out how to walk on himself. He hasn't taken the first step by himself, but he's needing help. But he's always holding on to something and then falls, and sometimes he falls badly and hurts his head. That same analogy, we've all seen babies do this. That same analogy works with us. We get adversities, we get hiccups in our lives. We sometimes just want to quit, and it's okay to feel that way. It does. What you have to do is maybe figure out a different path. Just, if you're going to bump into the wall, just figure out, to take a detour. Your destination is still waiting for you. Your niche is still waiting for you. Sometimes you have to go back in order to go forward. So don't worry about that, but keep your eye on the prize, because that, when you have it, you're going to achieve it. And look at the Olympians, right? They have to practice long hours to get to where they have to do. Sometimes it's so hard that they want to cry. But if they started looking at the next person next to them in the next lane, if you are a runner and you saw the person next to you and say, oh my God, I'm never going to do this. That never going to do this is never going to take you to the finish line. What you want to do is, you are now here on the Olympic start line. Make sure you run the race. It's not about the medal. I mean, it is in the end, but the fact that you are here running the race in an Olympic stadium, that's what the whole accolade is. Because people forget, I didn't get the gold medal, but hello, of all the people, you were on that track with somebody else who got the 10. That's what counts, right? So don't lose yourself in anything else. Your journey is your own. Just take one step at a time and keep moving forward.
I love that. So with that, my friends who are here watching and listening with us, you are here because you are an Olympian and you are on the track, and we are in this together. If you are on this call, if you are on this site today, if you are on Coach's Corner today, that was for you. Munira's message to you is you are on the Olympic trail. You are Olympians. You've earned the right to be where you are today. So hang in there, keep moving. You are an Olympian. You are an Olympic person. You are a winner. So Munira, I'm going to post your information for any of you who would like to get a hold of Munira and find out your niche and find your purpose and combine your passion, your purpose, and into your niche. She can help you with that. She can assess where you are, and Munira can get you where you want to go. So I'll put your information for folks to reach out to you if that's okay.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for some masterminds that Munira may be offering, or myself, or the two of us together. And let's do this. 2021 is still new. There's still 10 more months to go. So keep running the race, everybody. Munira,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Honored and humbled. Thank you.
Same here. And ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend. See you next time on Coach's Corner next Friday at noon. Don't forget, if you would like to be a guest on the show, please reach out to me. And my producer and I will get back to you, and we'll look at some information and we'll schedule you. So have a wonderful day, Munira.
Thank you.
God bless
Bye.
you. Bye, friend.
Audio Jungle.